Hey everyone, I hope you're doing okay. So for my project, I chose the drug acetaminophen. So before we get started, I actually have a short clip that I want to show you guys before we get this started. So I'm gonna play it right now.
If you've ever had a headache, then you know the wonders of one of the United States' most popular over-the-counter medicines, Tylenol. Also known as acetaminophen, or if you're overseas, paracetamol, this stuff is a quick and easy way to relieve pain and reduce fever. Although you may be confident in the fact that your pharmacy knows everything there is to know about this stuff, take a look at the physician's note that comes with the bottle. Although the analgesic effect of acetaminophen is well established, the site and mode of action have not been clearly elucidated. Translation, yeah, this stuff works, but we just don't know how. However, there are some working theories. Acetaminophen blocks an enzyme that sends out chemicals called prostaglandins that make our bodies feel pain. If this theory is correct, then acetaminophen works very similar to aspirin, Advil, and Aleve. Some research is leading into showing that acetaminophen works on the endocannabinoid system, which has a role in the sensation of pain in the body. Cannabinoids sound familiar? The main drug in marijuana, THC, also works through this system. This is why people look to marijuana as an option for pain relief. Acetaminophen may also make adjustments to signaling from the neurotransmitter serotonin. Serotonin's connection to pain is complicated. Some wasps and scorpions have serotonin in their venom, and serotonin levels may play a role in migraine headaches. While all these theories seem very different, some researchers out there think that it isn't necessarily true that there's just one process, but instead a combination of all three of these processes. Chemists want to know how acetaminophen works so they can create better pain relief medicines. Today, it's one of the most popular drugs in the US, with over 27 billion doses sold in 2009. When taken at recommended levels, Tylenol is a perfectly safe pain reliever, but watch out. If you go overboard, acetaminophen isn't as safe as you think. Acetaminophen poisoning is one of the most common forms of drug toxicity in the world. Many prescriptions and over-the-counter drugs contain this stuff, so it's easy for people seeking quick pain relief to accidentally take too much without realizing it. Overdosing on acetaminophen can lead to liver damage, liver failure, or even death. When you take this drug, the body produces a chemical byproduct or metabolite. When too much of this stuff builds up, it can damage your liver cells. So seriously, people, read the darn label and pay attention to dosage. If you're still not sure about dosing, ask your doctor or your pharmacist. The sooner we figure out how acetaminophen works, the sooner scientists can create even better, safer pain relief medicines.
So for those who don't know what acetaminophen is used for, it's actually a common pain reliever and fever reducer. It's one of the most common active drug ingredient in the US by far, and found in more than 500 over-the-counter and prescription medicines. So, you're probably wondering what acetaminophen is actually made out of. Well, first, the paracetamol is made by nitrating phenol using sulfuric acid or sodium nitrate and separating the para and ortho isomers. The 4-nitrophenol is then reduced to 4-aminophenol, which reacts with acetic anhydride yield the desired compound, which is aminoacetaminophen. I'll show a picture of how it's actually made. So we have aminophenol with acetic anhydride, which become aminoacetaminophen, plus acetic acid. So prostaglandins are a chemical that cause inflammation and swelling. Acetaminophen relieves pain by elevating the pain threshold, by requiring a greater amount of pain to develop before the person feels it. It reduces fever through its action on the heat-regulating center of the brain. They elevate body temperature by affecting the heat-regulating center of a region of the brain known as the hypothalamus, by blocking COX and therefore the subsequent production of prostaglandins in the central and peripheral nervous system. Non-opioid analgesics reduce both fever and inflammation. Short-term and long-term effects on the nervous system. Acetaminophen may also bring serious side effects such as loss of an appetite, nausea, and vomiting. It can also cause severe stomach pain. Other side effects include difficulty urinating, lightheadedness, fainting, sweating, weakness, or unusual bruising or bleeding. The drug can also cause the skin or whites of the eye to become yellow, which is a sign of liver damage. So some short-term effects on the nervous systems are rashing, itching, swelling, severe dizziness, or trouble breathing. Long-term effects on the nervous system. Symptoms of an overdose may not appear within 24 hours or up to 4 days. A severe overdose could also trigger the onset of a symptom sooner. Perhaps in a little as 12 hours, the signs may not obviously point to the problem. Nausea, vomiting, and other symptoms may disappear a few hours later. In fact, you might feel a lot better before the toxicity triggers the liver and potentially kidney failure, which would lead to multiple organ failure. Liver function can return within a few weeks, otherwise death can occur within matters of days. What's in Tylenol doesn't trigger toxicity unless it's taken in extremely high doses. Treatments for include gastrointestinal decontamination, stomach pumping, or the use of a peridote to reduce liver damage. So there's one question around this drug. Is acetaminophen addictive? Well, technically no. Recent studies suggest that acetaminophen isn't actually addictive at all, and people don't take it to get high. It is, however, an active ingredient in many painkillers, such as Vicodin or Percocet, which are abused in their high. It is the acetaminophen contained in these drugs that are often the most damaging. So another question brings up, is it safe to use? Well, at a recommended dose, yes. Acetaminophen is considered one of the safest medication. Unlike other common pain relievers such as non-steroidal and anti-inflammatory drugs, acetaminophen does not raise a risk of stomach or heart problem, making it a to-go medication for people who are unable to tolerate non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. It has been successfully used to treat pain and fever for many decades. However, there are relatively a few side effects, like I mentioned before. Medical professionals generally prefer it over anti-inflammatory drugs that have more side effects and risks. So another question comes up, is it illegal? Well, considering what I said, yes, but it's more to than just that. Let me start from the beginning. In 2002, the FDA officials presented evidence to a panel that 100 people a year died of acetaminophen toxicity, and more than 2,000 people were hospitalized in 2009. An FDA panel considered a ban on acetaminophen, but then voted narrowly to ban only 2 drug combinations, which is Percocet and Vicodin. Acetaminophen was approved by the FDA for the use in over-the-counter medicines for adults in tablet or liquid dose strength, ranging from 325 to 500 milligrams. And the recommended dose, single dose for acetaminophen for adults is 325 to 1,000 milligrams. The maximum over-the-counter daily dose is 4,000 milligrams. Also, I left my works cited in the link in the description of the video. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something new from this video, and hopefully I was clear enough to explain. Please like the video, and hope you have a nice day. Bye.